Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Elevated and Meaningful. It's been a long time. I just wanted to recap you guys with some of the things that's been going on in my life. I'm about to graduate very soon, and I recently got hired to a new job, which I'm really excited about. I'll be a news reporter, multimedia journalist at a newspaper in a small town, which is an hour south of where I live right now in St. Cloud. It's going to be an hour south of St. Cloud. So that's one. Those are the few things that's going on. Recently, I got some new gears for my job, for my camera, like a better audio. As you could hear, my voice probably sounds much better than the previous videos because I got a really good microphone, and I got a better tripod that is not plastic. So there's some of those things are new too, and so yeah, I mean things are kind of changing in my life right now. I'm not making a lot of videos because I've had to make a lot of other things, a lot of changes, a lot of. I have been thinking a lot about what I have to do and after I graduate. So it took a lot of time to think and plan and meditate and pray until I get to where I'm trying to go. And as a profession, I really like journalism because it's such a good way to get to know your community. Like if you're as a Baha'i, we are all about building community. We're all about meeting people, connecting hearts, coming together. Across all cultures, religions, and backgrounds, and basically communicating. Like how are we supposed to live together and this day and age, and the 21st century in 2019. We see the negativities and the consequences right now in society of division, polarization, disunity, problems like this. It's rampant, and the results of it is we see it's not good. So the fact that things are the way they are right now, and it's kind of like a sign of how much more important it is that we should be together, that we should communicate, given all these negativities because they're a result of division. It's like telling us you need to be united. Let's work together. Let's talk about spiritual qualities for our children. Let's make sure our youth are educated and aware of the forces of their environment and these kind of things. So as a journalist, of course, I'm not going in telling people what to do. I'm going in to get to know people, to tell their stories, in hopes of raising the awareness of the general public, to raising awareness of people and the higher ups, letting them know people either are struggling, these are the voices of concern, and I am here to report those things, and I want to tell those stories because those are very, very important. So with my background and sort of the activities I've been doing with building community, like I mentioned, and for my faith, it's all about building unity and connection with everyone. It's an easy transition from that lifestyle, which I'm still doing, to a journalistic lifestyle, which I've been sort of doing for my university. But it's really my experience has been solely in university. So now with my upcoming job in a few weeks, I'm gonna have the opportunity to finally get my hands dirty and really meet people, talk to people, get to know the small town, which is about 6,700 people. It's not a lot of people. It's a very small town, and I'll getting to know people and really listening to what they have to say, listening to their concerns, and making sure that I don't rely on a handful of sources for my stories, but to always be expanding and making sure that I have different voices in my stories, and I really just want to get good at that. Me and my friend Paco, which his name is actually Francisco James Randon. I made a video of his wedding one in my previous videos. It was called Jerica and Paco, Baha'i wedding. I'm sure a lot of you have seen that. He actually hit me up and said, Sarv, what do you think about doing a podcast? I said, what do you mean? Let's talk about it. What are you thinking about? And so we talked about it, and then it became clear he wants to, have this ongoing discussion, which we've started. We have 6 episodes now, and I wanted to make this video just to give you guys a recap and to let you know that Paco and I were making these podcasts, and our hope is increase the number of listeners and supporters. We want to hear from you guys, what your thoughts are, what your questions are, so we can, address some of those questions if you have any. Again, our podcast is called Cast Consciousness, and I'm going to leave the link right below this video. You could click on it and go to SoundCloud. Soon we're going to be expanding to iTunes and hopefully Spotify and other mediums or platforms where podcasts are technically. But I think the main ones are SoundCloud, iTunes, and Spotify. Those are the big platforms right now. It's been a really interesting experience so far. We make our podcasts, really, it's just one try each. We don't do like we don't have a really a script whereby we're reading things. It's not really like that. Although we plan a few things ahead of time to really make sure, that we have an idea of what we're going to talk about. And we try to insert, quotes from Baha'i writings, from Buddhism, from Christianity, from other, Islam and Judaism. So really all religions. We try to, if we find things that are relevant and connected, which again, we believe from a Baha'i perspective, it's all connected. All religions are one, really. So we were able to insert different ideas and quotes to our podcast, which makes it a rich podcast. So I hope you guys will check our podcast out. This video was to let you know that we're doing these podcasts and about my life a little. And I also wanted to thank you all. I've reached 900 subscribers. I couldn't 3 years ago, I think I was around, where was I? Like maybe 200 or 150 subscribers. I don't even remember. But yeah, my numbers have gone up like crazy. So, and I know I don't make a lot of videos. Part of it is because, again, I've been busy with a lot of things that I've been thinking about and planning and working. Finishing up my graduate program and also concentrating on finding that job, which thank God it worked out. And so I wanted to thank everybody who checks my YouTube out. Still, you guys are watching, and I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing, and I've been able to make some videos with wonderful people, people who are producers of documentaries like Steve Sorowitz and an author, Joy DeGruy, where we talked about, with her I talked about, sort of a Baha'i perspective on eradicating racial prejudice. Those videos did really well because these individuals are well known and these topics are important, so people want to listen to these topics. So it makes it a good video. And I wish sometimes I had the luxury to travel all over the world and just interview great minds, interview great people, and I hope through my years of experience as a journalist, I will reach that level where I have a program of my own. If it's not my YouTube channel, maybe a television channel, or maybe it might be YouTube, or maybe some other platform, maybe Netflix or something, whatever exists by the time I'm able to have my own sort of show, to interview people, prominent people, and talk about same things that I talk about in my YouTube channel with Dr. Joy DeGruy. Those videos really, I feel like people want to hear what we have to say about those things, or how we have conversation around those things that really hit home and hit at our hearts, because these problems, these social ills are real, and talking about it is an attempt to find common ground, find ways to cope with these issues, and eventually reach to the point where people of all religions and all races and backgrounds communicate with each other, work together, and learn about cooperation, and learn about reciprocity and love and kindness, so that we can really together work and keeping up the world, environmentally speaking, socially, educationally, really for all of us. So anyway, I don't want to keep going. This has been 10 minutes of my recap. I'm going to be coming up with more videos soon. Thanks a lot for watching and listening. I appreciate it, guys. And again, I apologize for not uploading a lot of videos, but whenever I can, I will. Whenever there is someone I can interview, unfortunately in Minnesota, there's really not a lot of people, and I don't really travel much, so it's tough when it comes to interviews. But whenever I get my hands, and when I have the opportunity, my camera is always with me. I set it up, and then I ask the person, can I interview you? And then boom, I get it done. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching and listening, guys. Again, please check out our podcasts. That seems to be the thing I'm doing now. And podcasts are great because you can listen to them in your cars whenever you're driving to work, or whenever you're taking a road trip. And we are trying to make sure our conversations are meaningful on there too. I hope you guys subscribe to my channel here at Elevated and Meaningful, and leave some comments and concerns or questions down below. And follow us on Cast Consciousness on SoundCloud. More ideas and more content will be coming to you very soon. Goodbye, guys.